What's going on, guys? It's Rated here and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got you guys a brand new video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the best settings here for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Beta. Just before we go ahead and jump into this video, I know many of you guys still need Black Ops Cold War Beta codes, and if that is you, I'm going to be giving away a few here in this video. All you need to do is drop a like down below, leave a comment why I should choose you, and just subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so don't miss any future uploads just like this one. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the best settings for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So as you guys can see, I'm heading over to the settings option right here. We do have some new settings that were very different to the previous release, the alpha I should say, of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and I have to say the whole game feel has changed drastically compared to the alpha to the beta. So for you guys who didn't really enjoy the alpha that much, I can guarantee that you will enjoy that beta so much more, and in a few weeks it will be open for everyone to play. You guys can experience what I'm experiencing right now. But as I did say, these are going to be the best settings here for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. First of all, if you're playing on controller, I do recommend you guys running a 5:5 sensitivity. This sensitivity is definitely the best for Treyarch games in my personal opinion. Around 4 to 8 is the sweet spot for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, or I should say Treyarch games in general, as the sensitivity does differ depending on which creator did create the game. And I have to say, for Treyarch games, 5 sensitivity works perfect for me. My ADS stick sensitivity, low zoom and high zoom is just default, as my controllers already have trigger stops on them, so it doesn't really make a huge difference. If you guys want to play around with that, it will allow you guys to shoot that slight bit faster than usual, pretty much eliminating the trigger dead zone. And then of course, moving down, I'm rocking the default button layout. That's just because I have a scuff controller, but if you guys aren't rocking a scuff controller, I have to say there is a few ones which are definitely the best. One of them being bumper jumper. This allows you to guys go ahead and jump with L1 if you're on PlayStation, or one of the bumpers for the fact if you're playing with a controller, which can definitely come in very handy, as jump shotting in this game is actually the majority of the gameplay in multiplayer. Everybody's going to be jump shotting, as it's pretty much giving you an advantage in this game, as you do jump quite high compared to different titles. So bumper jumper is definitely going to be useful. Other than that, stick and move is also a great option, as you jump with your stick instead of course your bumper. Pretty much every single button stays the same apart from X is switched with the right stick click. Allow you guys to keep your thumbs on the controller when you do go ahead and fight an enemy. I definitely recommend that if I was you, but like I did say, if you have a scuff controller, you guys can just leave this as default. Flipping L1 and L2 are definitely very useful if you don't have trigger stops or can't get the hang of the ADS stick sensitivity. What I recommend you guys doing is swapping it, just for the fact that pressing the trigger actually takes a longer time to click in than if you was going to press one of the bumpers, as the bumper has much more shorter movement and it's pretty much instant when you click it, whereas the trigger you have to slowly feather it in until you do get to the bottom of it. So that's why most people rock a flipped controller layout. I definitely recommend it, as it will improve your shooting speed and your aim down sight speed. Just get a hang of it, try it out, and let me know what you think of it. Inverting the vertical look is disabled, and controller vibration for me, it doesn't really matter. I have the rumble pads taken out of my controller just because I like to play with a lighter controller, but having controller vibration enabled, this is just personal preference. Many people like to disable it just for the fact that it does throw off their aim, and some people like it for that immersive feel when playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Moving down here, we have some gameplay settings that we're going to be taking a look at. Slowdown and strafing aim assist should be enabled by default, as this is going to allow you guys to get that slight better accuracy when fighting against enemies in multiplayer. Airborne mantle behavior, have that as automatic, as it will automatically jump you over the buildings or ledges if you guys are close by. If you want to disable that, maybe you're getting into gunfights and it's automatically mounting you, definitely have that disabled if that is a problem for you. And then of course, aim down sight behavior, I have that as hold. Steady aim behavior, I also have that as hold. And then vehicle attack control mode, have that as aim based as well. So this is pretty much default at this point. Scrolling down, these are the advanced settings. If you guys need to access the advanced settings, you guys can usually just click in your thumbstick and it will allow you to enable that. The stick layout I'm running is default, as I think everybody should run at this point. But this is one which is very crucial if you guys are playing multiplayer. So the stick drift on your controller is very crucial, not only in multiplayer but in different modes as well, such as Warzone, as it will allow you guys to have that better accuracy and your controller won't be drifting off to the side. So all you're going to need to do is just test this in game, hop into a game and see how close you can get it to the dead zone. So the dead zone is where you wiggle your controller stick and it won't actually move. So you want it as close as possible, so the second you touch your analog stick, it will move you. For me, it's 4 because I don't really have that much of an old controller, but I know older controllers usually have a minimum fresh input, as they do run the risk of actually getting stick drift on the controller. But yeah, once you have that figured out, you can definitely be ready to go. So moving past all of this, we also have controller sounds. I just have that disabled as I don't really want to hear anything on my controller. Auto move forward. Now this is one which can be very useful if you're getting used to or getting annoyed of automatically sprinting. But auto move forward isn't the one that I would enable. I would enable auto sprint. This one is literally perfect for me. You don't have to keep on clicking in your thumbstick, pretty much hurting your thumb each time you respawn. So just have that enabled as default in my opinion. Sprint behavior, have that as go to, and then sprint cancel on reload. That is personal preference if you guys would like to reload cancel. Moving on from here, we have equipment behavior, have that as hold. So pretty much that is the default part of this settings. Now we're going to be taking a look at the graphics settings to make your graphics 10 times better, and not only that, allow you guys to actually play better now, as they added in a field of view slider for console, which is a great option in my opinion. Moving over, as you can see, graphics, I have my safe area bounds as default. If you are rocking a really big monitor or a TV, I'd recommend actually bringing your safe area very narrow, so you guys don't have to look that far in the corners to see how much equipment or ammo you have. It's much better than just It's much better to just glance at it from the middle of your screen, in my opinion. That way you'll be less distracted over that. Colorblind type, some people like to rock this as it does give their team players and enemies a different color on their screen. I'm just leaving that disabled right now, and the field of view sweet spot for me on console at least is 100, and the reason I have to say that, it will not impact your FPS that much on console. On PC I'd probably rock 110, but I don't really want to hinder my FPS in game, so I'm just rocking 100 FPS on the PlayStation 4. If you guys are watching this after on the PlayStation 5 or PC for the fact, definitely rock around 110 field of view, if not 120, as it will give you a greater advantage. As you guys can see that image on the right hand corner of the screen, when you're at 60 FOV you guys can't see much, but as soon as you're at 120 you guys can see more of the map, pretty much allow you guys to see enemies if they can't even see you. Then brightness, I just have this set as default, which is 50. Some people like to rock a higher brightness so they can see the enemies in the darker corners. I just leave that as default. And then motion blur, you want this disabled. This will not help you in game at all, and I strongly recommend you disable it if you guys are playing multiplayer. Maybe if you're playing campaign, enable it so you can get an immersive feel for the game, but if you guys are playing multiplayer, I strongly recommend you disable it, as it's not going to help you spot your enemies that much faster. It will actually hinder your sight of where you can see the enemies in the corner of the screen, so definitely disable that. Moving over to audio, there's one thing that I want you guys to change here. Change your audio preset, change that to high boost. That is guaranteeing you guys to hear enemy footsteps that much louder, and that's pretty much all there is for the settings. If you're rocking keyboard and mouse, of course enable your own binds. You can enable different HUD elements if you want to disable your crosshairs, hit marker values, stuff like that, damage values. You guys can actually disable that, so if you guys do not want to see your teammates' health bars, your enemy health bars, player names in full name, I do guess that could be very useful as well, as it does get kind of distracting. But yeah, this is all personal preference at this moment. Everything before I said, so the controller and the graphics and the audio settings, you guys definitely want to be changing to so it does suit your style of play for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And as I did say at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be giving away a few more beta codes to a few of you guys in the comment section below. So let me know why I should choose you, and let me know what you think of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.